Curtis.
Brad, how you doing?
Good, yourself?
Doing great. I'm here to talk to you about this really cool game that we've been playing.
It's a great game.
Yeah. So you are much more knowledgeable, we'll say, about the anime Attack on Titan than I am. You've watched all of it, right?
Yes, I have.
Okay, so Attack on Titan, the video game, is out next week on PlayStation 4, I think PS3 also, and Vita.
Okay.
But we got PS4 and Vita codes. You've been playing the PlayStation 4 version. I've been playing the Vita version.
I've been playing the hell out of the PlayStation 4
Yeah,
version.
so talk to me about this.
So, I mean, do we start with what is Attack on Titan?
Yeah, we should probably... Yeah, if you don't know what Attack on Titan is, Brad, give people the lowdown.
So this is kind of... It's the subject matter that's really, I think, the Achilles heel to the review of this game, right?
Mm-hmm.
It is a story of an agrarian society that lives within giant walls for fear that giant titans will show up and eat them.
Right.
And the only thing they have to defend themselves against these titans are zip lines that act like Spider-Man and samurai swords.
Yeah. Which, as you do, of course.
And it's a very brutal anime. It is very graphic, and even though Spider-Man is really cool, they get eaten quite a lot.
Yeah, and these titans, the best,
creepy.
They are super creepy. Just really, because they're humanoid shaped, I guess. Like but
they have like baby doll kind of faces, and they're really exaggerated and very blank staring.
Yeah, there's
as
one
they
that
look at you and grab you and eat you.
I think the initial one, or like the one that's like on the cover, or like that you see like peeking over the wall, kind of looks like if you just like took the skin off of a human. It's all like muscle looking.
Yeah, that's more of a different looking kind of one.
Yeah,
he's a special one.
Yeah, so it's crazy. So my knowledge of the series, I watched like the first couple episodes and I never got around to continuing it, even though I really enjoyed what I had seen. I guess let's start off like story wise. I've played probably about five-ish hours of it. You've finished at least the campaign. How do you feel? So this covers the first season, which, from what I know, is what is all that there is right now of the anime, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct, and it covers it pretty well. Like, I mean, note for note, skips over some of the filler, but it's pretty on point. So, I dare say, like, if you're gonna play this game, you're kind of gonna get spoiled by for the anime. Or vice versa.
Yeah, I'm kind of at this point now where I feel like maybe I should go and just kind of marathon it real quick, because I don't think there's that many episodes, right?
No, there's not.
Okay.
And it's pretty good, so yeah, I would suggest it.
Yeah.
The anime saves its budget for the action scenes, and then the rest are kind of a lot of soliloquies and kind of low budget conversations and stuff.
Yeah. So,
but when the action's done, it is done right, and it is.
Yeah, so we're playing as these characters. They're part of this kind of, I guess, like militia force. Like you said, they're Spider-Man style, like grappling hooks flying through the city with these giant swords. Kind of the key here, at least to fight these titans, to combat them, you have to cut off their head or slice through their head.
You have to cut the back of their neck.
Okay.
And that kills them. But they're usually very defensive of that, so you have to take off their limbs first. Great game, right? Like, just wholesome fun.
Oh, for sure.
Jeez.
And we should also say, like, so this is Omega Force who's developed this.
This is Dynasty Warriors.
Yeah.
And I was worried, to be honest. Like, when you watch that anime, you know, one of the first things you think is like, man, this would be sweet if it was a video game.
Right.
Right? Like, the way the action goes down, you're like, if they could get this right, and somehow they got it right.
Yeah. So like,
it feels amazing.
You started playing it, and then after, like, you had some pretty positive things to say about it in our G chat group, because you're like, it's different from their usual games. It's not just like a flooded field of like hundreds and hundreds of titans. Correct. You know, like, I think if you look at the map, you can definitely see it, right, and like how some of the missions play out. But it is very different, and so
it's a different game, but on like the Dynasty Warriors engine.
Yes.
Dare say You remember that other Dynasty Warriors game where everyone went Super Saiyan?
Yeah, there's like 20
years
of
ago?
them. Warriors Orochi? Is that the one you're talking about?
No, that's the one with like demonic stuff.
Okay.
No, we're talking Warriors. Oh, they had like Super Saiyan forms, and you would like fly and fight giant battles.
Okay.
I feel like maybe there's some inspiration there.
Maybe.
But
So
anyway.
like okay, so like the game itself, God, it feels like the battles, at least from what I've seen of the anime. It
Absolutely.
controls so well, Brad. Like this game, even on the Vita, where like there's some performance hiccups here and there, like this game plays like a dream. Camera aside, I don't know how the camera is on the PS4. I think the camera on the Vita, it can feel very claustrophobic. I think just because of the smaller screen and stuff. But I think go ahead.
With the nature of this game, like you're gonna get some camera,
sure
hiccups, but I don't think that's impossible to avoid.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's just, or it is impossible to avoid. Like there's just, it's gonna come up, but you can deal with it. You have free control of the camera, and that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
I told it also teaches you not to get cornered by a bunch of titans.
Right. So I told you this. I mean, because you have like it starts the prologue, the tutorial, like you're in like a forest area, so you're kind of like just flinging yourself through like trees and all sorts of weirds, like hitting targets and learning how to play the game. But in a lot of the missions I've done so far have been in the city, and I'm just like, I told you, it felt like Spider-Man on steroids plus swords. Like you're just flying through this city so fast, and you've got all these titans everywhere. You've got people who are calling for help, like little side missions you can go to do. And if you do those side missions, it builds up a bar. I don't remember the name of it, like the gauge that fills up.
Decisive victory bar.
Yes.
Decisive battle.
Mm-hmm. It's a great name. And so you activate that, and that kind of powers you up. It gets everybody there.
It's kind of your Mosu attack, right? It just gives everybody a buff, though.
Yeah.
It's not over the top.
And it's like, I don't know, the great thing about this game is is the dismemberment. Like when I got to that point when it was like, okay, this is how you're going to take them down, I immediately was like, yeah, okay, I'm in. Because what you do, you'll like grapple onto them, and you like in midair, you can, if you let go of the analog stick, it pulls you towards them, and then you can use your boost to kind of boost forward, and that'll let you do a little bit of a stronger attack. But you can also kind of like strafe around them as you're connected, because you need to get a good angle on whether
you got to pick the angle on how you're going to get in there.
So it's very very strategic, very it's very quick, but you really have to think about your positioning.
Koei has done multiple types of Mosu games, right?
Yeah.
And you remember,
I feel like it's like every week there's a new one.
Yeah, seriously, it's kind of getting overboard. But you remember the Gundam ones were the first kind of side story ones? And this game feels kind of how I felt Gundam should have felt.
Yeah.
When you are going way too fast, still locked on your guy, and you're outwitting and slicing them.
Yeah.
Where the Gundam was just like, okay, you're just mowing through everybody, and it looks cool, but it never got any deeper.
Yeah, I feel like that's how I felt, at least playing a lot. The few that I have played, you definitely get into that zone where you're slashing, mowing through hundreds and hundreds of enemies, and it's cool, but it feels almost effortless, I guess. Yeah. And I wouldn't say what I've played this game is super hard yet. I don't know how much harder it gets later on, but because of that strategic element, because you've got to think about your placement, and because of how fast it is, you get into that zone, and when you're like taking down 2 to 3 titans in rapid succession, it feels amazing.
Yes.
Because you're
just every time you take one down, it's just like you've outwitted them, and it's on to the next.
Yeah. So no time to think about it. You got like 50 other titans on the other side of the city you got to take down. It's great.
With that Dynasty Warriors mechanic, it's kind of, I'd say, it's about as deep as Hyrule Warriors got. Come over here on this side of the map and help somebody.
Right.
And by killing all the enemies around them, and then go to the next one. So, if there's a second one of these, I'd like to see a little more depth. But, I mean, in terms of getting the mechanics down and the scale of the battles, like, they really hit it.
Yeah, so there's, I've gotten to a point where I've unlocked, I think, two new playable characters. I don't remember that. What's it, like? Is there like 9 or something?
So I don't know how many.
Mhm.
I don't know if there are any like special ones or not.
Okay.
But yeah, there's about 7 or 9.
Okay. So the first one, the other girl that I got a chance to
Mikasa.
yeah, that I've been playing as, she's got a cool ability where when you do an initial attack, if you immediately follow it up, I don't remember the button. It's like triangle or something. If you keep hitting it, you continue attacking.
Yeah, it's kind of like a yo-yo attack, right? It's called chain attack.
Right. So like, how are the other? I don't know how much time have you spent with the other characters? Do they all have their own like unique thing? Do they feel different at all?
From what I can tell, there's like 4 types of characters.
Okay.
So there's like Mikasa that can do the chain attack and is heavily focused on that. Levi can do a spin attack, where you have to gain like extra speed coming at them, and then he'll be able to like do extra damage with the rotating spinning attack.
Right.
Aaron can, spoilers, transform.
Okay.
You didn't get that far?
No, but that sounds great.
Okay. Yeah, that's completely different.
Okay.
And then there's like your tacticians who can, instead of saying like, you can recruit up to 4 people to be in your little squad.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of saying like guard me or focus on or fan out, you get an additional one called orders.
Okay.
And orders means you can like highlight anything on the enemy Titan and then slam on circle.
Okay.
And your 4 people will go and attack that spot for you.
Yeah.
So I've been playing mostly with that. It's kind of fun when you get a good team going.
Right.
And you like, okay, guys, like cut off his left arm and then I'm going to swing around to his back and kill him.
Yeah, so
you
they're...
can do it all like instantaneously.
So they're like on the map themselves. There are people that are positioned in such a way that they can give you resources and supplies. Because you got to refuel your gas canister, and then also your swords. They kind of degrade over time as you're using them. But there's also people that are like standing on the rooftops that you can run up to, and they can join your squad. And those are ranked like A, B, C, D, or something like that. Yeah. So obviously you want to get the better ones. There's also, when you're fighting them, the limbs are like, some limbs will be highlighted with like a gold coin looking thing. And so those, if you cut those off, you get materials that you can use to like forge weapons and to upgrade weapons. Like in between missions, you've got like a little town center that you can walk around.
Little
you can buy
crafting
stuff.
mechanic.
Yep.
That's a nice way to break it up.
Yeah.
I think it's better than some of the Dynasty Warrior tries at that system. And it also gives you opportunity to nod more to the anime with conversations with specific characters, because the characters are really quite diverse and funny.
Right.
And many get killed.
that does seem to be the case. That does seem to be the case. So like you were saying that it's very close to almost like word for word, like at least dialogue wise. I know some of the stuff that I recognize. There's a point in the very first episode, I guess spoilers, where the guy you're playing, there's a part where you see him when he's younger, and you see like his hometown get attacked and his mom and everything. Like, so that was actually like delivered through a flashback in this game, which I don't think was the case in the anime. I might be wrong.
No, I think it was both.
Okay. So it was delivered. Like, there's nothing wrong with it in the game. I thought it worked pretty well. It was intertwined in there in an interesting way. Do you think? I don't know. Like, do you think this does a pretty good job of? I mean, I guess we kind of already talked about it. Just like, you should watch the anime before playing this, though. Like, if you are interested.
Yeah.
Okay. This isn't like it seems like it's a pretty good retelling, but like, don't play this in substitute of watching the anime.
Yeah, this is the crib notes. This is the spark notes, if you will, of the anime.
All right. There are some other, so like, other than the campaign, this is something that I guess you can talk about because I haven't played this stuff yet. There are some other modes other than the campaign. I know there's like a more of a free mode that you can potentially partner up with people. I
tried that, and they were idle.
Oh, okay.
So, and now like I'm in kind of the epilogue mode.
Yeah.
So I think in chapter 3 you unlock this. There's 3 main chapters of the game. and it's kind of it's like survey mode, and you have a list of like 10 places to go survey and do a mission.
Okay.
So it's really just like, it's randomizer. It's like 10 different kinds of things on like maybe 3 or 4 maps. So like there'll be a defense battle, there'll be a abnormals battle, there'll be a escort battle, all in the same map, like for 3 different levels.
Okay.
It's just kind of a way to like get more content out of the game once you finish the story.
Sure.
But as you progress with that, you're unlocking some stuff, you're getting better crafting materials, and you're unlocking epilogue chapters, which actually go past the anime.
Oh, weird.
Yeah, so I was able to do one, and I told my coworker who's like all about it and reads the manga.
Right.
And he was like geeking out. He's like, "Oh man, they did that." Like,
yeah, so I guess I was gonna ask you like if that was stuff that's probably in the manga or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
And right now, so the difficulty didn't spike until the second epilogue chapter, and I am stuck now.
Okay. So I was gonna ask you because I guess like I assume other people listening would maybe want to know like early on the Titans they'll attack you, but they kind of do stand there, at least in some of the earlier missions. I'd gotten a little past the point where I don't remember what they're called, but there's a type of Titans that's kind of like a little bit more unreliable. They're unpredictable. And I don't remember the name. They have a term for them.
That's an abnormal.
Yes. Like you were saying, like you just got to a difficulty spike. Like, how different do these Titans get over time? Like, does it get some? Do you feel like you wished it was a little bit harder, or I guess how has the difficulty played out so far for you?
So you'll see their health starts increasing. Instead of having to take down just one final guy, you'll have to take down like 5 of them.
Okay.
And now I'm to a level that's unfortunately it's an escort level.
Oh,
and
no.
It's bad AI is what's happening to me.
Yeah, okay.
And all the Titans are super pumped up, and I haven't seen a level like this until this epilogue chapter. You have to escort this group, and you have to act as a decoy. So you have to get like a dozen Titans to chase you,
man.
and not the stupid AI that won't keep running.
Okay.
And I'm having a lot of difficulty, and I think I have to grind so I can just kill them all.
Okay.
But it is very unforgiving if you get even 3 Titans around,
mm-hmm.
and one of them grabs you, and you don't have people to save you.
Oh, yeah.
Because you don't have enough time to heal up, and they'll grab you again, and then you're dead.
Yeah, there was a couple times I kind of found myself in a bit of a loop of like getting grabbed, falling back down, and then getting grabbed again. But I guess the one other thing I do want to cover specifically is, so I've been playing on the Vita. Runs a lot better than I thought it would.
Yeah, that's surprising to me, too.
There were definitely issues. Frame rate wise, definitely when you get a lot of Titans on the screen, obviously it's going to chug a little bit. A little claustrophobic just with a smaller screen. Haven't played it with the PlayStation TV yet. I don't know how that feels. I almost feel like I'm doing myself a disservice playing this on the Vita. And maybe that's controversial. I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that diehard Vita fans that this is going to be the game for them, and they'll play it on the Vita, and that's fine. But the more and more I play it, the more and more it's like, man, I really want to pick this up on PS4.
Yeah, maybe you should think about it.
I've been thinking about it. So how does it run pretty well for you? You've run into any issues like that?
No issues.
Oh man.
No, it feels great. You'll get. I mean, the only slowdown is the mandatory slowdown when you kill a Titan for effect.
Yep.
Which I kind of wish you could turn off by the end of the game, because...
Sure.
And I don't know if there's an option for that. You can also turn gore down, which is probably good.
Mm-hmm.
I have it on, but... once again, I'm going to write up a review for this, and I'm thinking, 8 out of 10.
4 stars?
And
yep.
Yeah, I'm thinking 4 stars. The subject matter kind of holds it back, right? This is a very particular audience that's going to want to pick this up.
I think,
man, does it feel good.
I think you get that with any kind of this is based on an anime, but it sounds like, at least to me, I mean, and definitely from what I've played, it's a pretty good adaptation. Like,
I mean, but I'm talking just this game feels so good it should be generalizable to bigger audiences.
oh, sure.
It feels like Spider-Man fans should pick this up.
Yes. It's like the Spider-Man game I've been wanting.
Yeah.
While we wait for Insomniac to do whatever they're doing.
Yeah, right.
I was telling my brother, I was like, dude, like, I remember Spider-Man 2. That game was great.
Still talked about to this day.
This game, yeah, like, that's one of the biggest reasons, other than just performance, is why I want to get the PS4 version, is just to just be able to just swing around. I'd love for a mode where I could just load up a city and just fly around with my little grapple hook.
Yeah. And once you get really good with that,
yeah,
and get the rhythm down,
yeah, because there is a rhythm to it. There's like, you could kind of mash the button, and that would kind of work, but like, you have to be close to so like, as it should work, you have to be close to buildings for your grapple cord to like attach, and so you have to like, there's a rhythm to it, but there's also like, you have to kind of get used to like knowing where you need to be, like where your placement is again, and when you get it. It feels great. It feels really, really good.
Some characters unlock an extra boost too.
Oh man!
So it gives you a little extra pizzazz, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, I think so. The subject matter kind of holds it back. I'd like, and this is a common complaint with every Koei game, is I just want more depth on the battlefield.
Sure.
And the crafting system, I love like having to fight Titans specific ways to get stuff.
Yeah.
But it's getting very stingy with some of the rarer elements.
Okay.
So like I'm very close to upgrading to like some very high level gear, but all of them require like a very specific rare element that isn't even being offered right now.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like level 50.
Oh
so
jeez.
Yeah, that's kind of dragging.
Yeah, sure. Huh.
But Koei seems to pick a different type of crafting system for every kind of a Warriors game.
Yeah, which,
whether you're merging or you're picking them up on the battlefield or you're throwing them away or or you're leveling them up.
Sure.
That's this one. It works.
It's fine. But this game is great. Is there anything else you wanted to very quickly cover? Anything we haven't brought up yet?
I wish the theme song was in it. If you recall the theme song.
I don't. I'll have to. I'll end up watching. I'm gonna watch this.
The theme song's really like
epic.
Just the first like few notes of it are
nice.
Titan. The music's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah. I'd say it's fine. Like it's great. Like in the moment. Just like action wise, it's like to couple with all the crazy stuff you're doing on screen. But I can't say that I can instantly recall it, at least for me.
Have you gotten a horseback yet?
I have not.
Okay, so that does a nice job of there's horseback does a really good job of adding an extra degree of difficulty and franticness to the battlefield.
Okay.
Suddenly the battlefield will be a lot bigger than that city, and you need to truck it across.
Right.
Because your grapple hook can't latch on to anything in the plains.
Yeah, I kind of figured that.
So you'll like truck across from village to village. When you get to the village, you can hop off the horse and then start ziplining around.
Interesting. Yeah, so I'm gonna keep playing this. Like, this was something that I totally was like, oh, I'll check it out, and that way Brad and I can talk about it. But it very quickly became oh no, I'm gonna keep playing this more than just a few hours.
Yeah, seriously. I finished the story and I was like, oh, I think I'm done. And then I like wanted to play it some more.
Yeah.
And I'm still playing it, and it's still really pretty good.
It's pretty darn good. So
and once it has some more source material, I think you'll get a better kind of thing, but the anime's been delayed, I think, for a while.
Yeah, I was reading something about it maybe being a little ways off still.
It was supposed to be like this summer.
Yeah.
And I think it got at the last minute. So once that kind of stuff's out, I think that might open things up.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't mind a create a character mode.
Mm-hmm.
A little more crazy costumes, or just diversity in the characters, even though I know it's it's a military unit and they're all
Sure.
supposed to be pretty close.
Yeah.
I'm sure. I wouldn't be surprised if there's some kind of DLC for that. But
Oh, sure. Especially these kinds of games. They
with these guys, yeah.
Yeah. Well, cool. Thanks for chatting with me.
Yeah, good chatting about that. It's I really can't suggest it enough.
Yeah.
Like
I certainly have like a few little grievances with the Vita version, but even if you are just sticking with the Vita version, it's still so good. Like I'm having a blast with it.
Nice.
It's really great. And like it is also coming from me. I've only seen like a couple episodes of the anime. So like I feel like I'm probably at a point where maybe I'm a little farther in than I was when I was watching it.
Okay.
But I'm still like super into it. It's made me really want to go back and watch. Like I've been watching a lot of JoJo recently, which is Brad, which is great. It is so great. But this is like my almost a wake up call of like, man, I never did finish watching Attack on Titan. I need to do that. That's an important thing for me to do over the next week or so. So we'll see.
I think so.
Yeah.
And then maybe pick up the full version.
Yeah, it's real tempting. It's real tempting. We'll see. But well, yeah, thanks for joining me. Thanks. If you're listening, I guess that's a pretty good recommendation from both of us.
Yeah, we're usually quite cynical and hate everything. So this is Spider-Man with samurai swords, and I don't know if you need much more.
And like,
than
yeah, if that sounds awesome to you, that like it really is exactly that, and it's great. So this game is out next week. I believe there's a PS3 version as well. We only got sent codes for the PS4 and Vita version, but I think it's like 60, 50, 40 or something like that. It's typically how those stuff goes. But yeah, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. However you're consuming this piece of media that we're putting out. That is Attack on Titan. Brad.
Yeah, let us know if you pick it up.
Yeah.
Love to talk about it, or maybe we can try the online mode.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, we should try that. Until next time, I guess we're out.
Okay.